opinion. Class, our topic for today is forming an opinion and auditor's report. Reference for this topic is PSA 700. Now class, divide natin yung discussion natin into two. Let's start with forming an opinion. Forming an opinion. But before we start our discussion on this one, make sure class na download nyo muna yung files na to. In-upload ko lahat yan sa Facebook group natin. So, number 1 is Auditor's Report, Illustrative Examples. Number 2, 2020 Ayala Land Inc. Annual Report. And number 3, 2020 PAL Annual Reports. Magre-refer tayo to these files all throughout our discussion. So, pause the video. Make sure i-download nyo muna yung files before you continue watching our lesson for today. Okay. So, let's go to forming an opinion. So, class, the ultimate responsibility of the auditors is to provide or express an opinion on the fairness and reliability of the financial statement. So class, yung opinion natin, well, basically, magre-rely dyan lahat ng users of the financial statements. And our opinion will help them in their decision-making process. So kaya dumaan tayo sa lahat ng stages in audit. Preliminary engagement activities, planning, understanding internal controls, testing of controls, substantive testing, completing the audit. Lahat yan, dinaan natin to form an opinion on the financial statements. Okay? So, sir, ano ba yung different types of opinion? So, sulat nyo muna, class. Actually, meron tayong 4 types of opinion. Okay? Number 1 is unqualified opinion. Number 2, qualified opinion. Number 3, adverse opinion. And number 4, disclaimer of opinion. Okay, so isa-isay natin class. When you say unqualified opinion, it means the financial statements of the client are fairly presented. Fairly presented. And it means also that there are no material misstatements. Okay, again, pag unqualified, fairly presented, and no material misstatements. So basically class, ang sinasabi natin dyan, pag unqualified opinion, reliable yung FS ni client. Yun lang ibig sabihin yan. And an unqualified opinion, yun yung most common type of opinion. Okay? Now, let's go to qualified opinion. Pag qualified opinion class, the financial statements are fairly presented except for. Okay? Meron kang except for. Take note, fairly presented din, parang unqualified opinion. Ang difference nila, ito may except for. For example, class, okay, the financial statements are fairly presented except for inventories. Okay, so ibig sabihin, lahat ng line items, cash, AR, investments, PP, and so on and so forth, lahat yan reliable except for inventories. Okay, ang tawag natin dyan, qualified opinion. Gets? Okay. Now, adverse opinion, basically, ito yung worst type of opinion. The financial statements are not fairly presented. Ibig sabihin, misstated yung financial statements. Okay? Materially misstated. And then last one class, disclaimer of opinion. Basically, the auditor does not know, okay, if fairly or not fairly presented. Kaya tinawag na disclaimer of opinion. Basically, class, ang ibig sabihin yan, no opinion. Walang opinion si auditor. Okay? Does not know if fairly or not fairly presented. You call it disclaimer of opinion. So again, meron tayong unqualified, qualified, adverse, disclaimer. Sir, alam na namin yung different types of opinion. Paano namin malalaman, sir, kung kailan namin ibibigay yung ganyang opinion? Yung ganito yung class. Lagay mo muna dito, no? Misstatements. And this one, scope limitation. Ayan. Misstatements and scope limitation. And then, lagay mo sa columns natin, material, but not pervasive. And then, this one naman, material and pervasive. So, ito, not pervasive. Ito naman, and pervasive. Alright? So, misstatements and scope limitation. Okay, dito naman tayo. If meron kang misstatements And then, material siya and pervasive. Sir, ano ibig sabihin ng material? Ibig sabihin class ng material, mas mataas sa materiality threshold natin. Or materiality level natin. Tama? Kasi alam natin, pag sumobra ka ng materiality level or mabot ka ng materiality level, material yon. Below materiality, immaterial. So alam niyo na yan sa planning ng audit, okay? Sir, ano naman ibig sabihin ng pervasive? Pag sinabi yung pervasive class, it means prevalent or widespread. Okay? For example, meron kang misstatement sa ending inventory. Okay? Example, ending inventory. Di ba class yung ending inventory, may effect yan sa ending inventory na nasa balance sheet. Okay? And meron din siyang effect sa cost of goods sold natin, computation. Meron din siyang effect sa gross profit. Meron siyang net effect sa net income. Meron siyang effect sa retained earnings. Ang tawag mo dyan is pervasive. Kasi class, isang misstatement lang, widespread yung effect niya sa financial statements. Got it? Okay. Again, material but not pervasive. Pag ganyang class, pag may misstatements, material but not pervasive, pipili ka lang. It's either qualified or this is qualified. Okay? Pag naman material and pervasive, this is adverse. Okay? So class, take note lang. Ganda yan. Kailan ka ba nakakita ng misstatements in the financial statements? Okay? Meron kang misstatements class, makikita mo yan during substantive testing. Kasi, di ba, pag substantive testing, tinetest na natin yung amount sa FS. Tama? So, meron kang unaudited, for example, cash. May unaudited ka, meron kang audited, and then meron kang yung difference. Okay? Yung adjustments. And then, yung adjustments na yung class, magpo-propose tayo ng adjusting entry kay client. Parang sa audit problem nyo, meron tayong proposed adjusting journal entry. So, ulitin ko. Pag may nakita tayong misstatements, okay, audited versus unaudited, meron tayong proposed adjusting journal entry. Okay? So, ngayon, sabihin natin kay client, client, i-record mo yan, yung adjustment na yan. Pag ni-record ni client, okay, pag ni-record ni client, unqualified yun. Okay? Pag hindi ni-record ni client, it's either qualified or adverse. Depende sa materiality and pervasiveness. Gets? So, ibig sabihin class, hindi basta may misstatement sa FS, qualified or adverse na agad. Kasi pwedeng i-book ni client yun. Okay? So, pag binook ni client, walang problema. Unqualified. Kaya class, ang sabi ko kanina, yung unqualified, yan yung most common type of opinion kasi usually naman yung management, yung client, binubook naman nila yung mga proposed adjusting journal entries natin. Katulad ng ginagawa niyo sa audit problems. Okay? Hindi siya. Alright, so minention ko lang. Let's go to scope limitation. Sir, ano ibig sabihin ng scope limitation? Actually, dalawa yung class. No? Pag sabi scope limitation, it's an inability to obtain evidence. Hindi tayo makakuha ng evidence. Therefore, kung walang evidence, paano makakapagbigay ng opinion? Dalawa yan. Pwedeng scope limitation na client-imposed. Okay? Client-imposed and others. Okay? Pag sinabing client-imposed, for example, si management, ayaw niya magbigay ng supporting documents. Okay? Scope limitation yun. Na si client yung nag-impose dahil kay client. Yung others naman, well, for example, si client, yung record siya nasunog, may fire, okay? Physical documents lahat, nasunog through fire, ayun, scope limitation yun. Ibig sabihin scope limitation, inability to obtain evidence. Hindi tayo makakuha ng sufficient evidence, okay? If it's material but not pervasive, qualified opinion, material and pervasive, disclaimer of opinion. Okay? So, meron tayong unqualified, meron tayong qualified, adverse, and disclaimer. Okay, so alam na natin kung kailan tayo magbibigay ng opinion na yan. Take note na lang class na for disclaimer, meron pang ibang reasons kung not only yung scope limitation. If merong multiple uncertainties, pag may multiple uncertainties, okay, disclaimer of opinion yan. Okay, later, makikita natin sa PAL. Because, di ba, si PAL heavily affected by the pandemic yan, tama? Makikita nyo later sa SGB, nagbigay sa kanya ng disclaimer of opinion. Okay? Pag may multiple uncertainties. And another one class, kapag walang independence, okay? Lacks independence, yung auditor, hindi siya independent from the client, lagi siyang independence, lagi siyang disclaimer of opinion. Okay? Kaya siya tinawag again na disclaimer, basically, wala kang opinion. Bakit ka walang opinion? Kasi hindi ka makakuha ng evidence. Alright? Ayan. So, tandaan niyo yung class, ito yung maging framework natin sa types of opinion. Okay, now, that's opinion. Let's go to auditor's report. Auditor's report. Okay, so open nyo class yung, ito muna, Ayala Land Inc. Yung second one, 2020 Ayala Land Inc. Annual Report. So open nyo muna yung file na yan. Okay, and tignan muna natin. Now, before we go to auditor's report, tignan muna natin class, sir, ano ba difference ng annual report? Auditor's report. And financial statement. Sir, nalilito kasi ako dyan eh. Lagi ko nababasa yan. Annual report, auditor's report, and financial statements. Okay. Open nyo muna yung file na to, yung Ayala Land Inc. Annual Report. Well, basically, it's an annual report. And pumunta ka dun sa table of contents yan. Page 4. Okay. Page 4. Tingnan natin class ha. So, open mo muna. Page 4. Table of contents. Makikita mo class yung annual report. Okay. Ito yung mga kasama dyan. Nandyan yung part 1, nakalagay business. Okay. So, about Ayala Land, okay, ano yung history niya, corporate history. Number 2, securities of the registrant. So basically, yung details ng shares, sino mga shareholders. Number 3, financial information, okay. Financial statements, and management discussion, nakalagay. Number 4, management and security holders. So basically, yun yung directors, executive officers, and compensation owners. Number 5, corporate governance, and yung mga exhibits. So basically class, makikita mo yun, yung annual report, 376 pages yan. So everything na kailangan mo malaman about the company, nandun yan sa annual report. Okay? And yung iba dito class, kaya mapapansin mo yung file name natin, ang file name yan is SEC 17A. Because class, iyan yung form yan. Okay? Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC Form 17A. Pag nabasa mo yan, ang ibig sabihin niyang class, iyan yung annual report. Gets? Okay, now, punta naman tayo class dyan sa page 122. Lagay nyo lang sa page number 122. Enter mo lang yan. Makikita mo dyan class, page 122. Iyan naman yung auditor's report. Okay? Ito yung report ni SGV. Okay? Well, si SGV yung auditor ng Ayala Land. Okay? Kung makapansin nyo class, well, iyan yung iisa-isayin natin later. Pero ilang pages lang yan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 6 pages, okay? 6 pages lang. Yan yung auditor's report. So basically, annual report, report yan ni management, okay? Yung auditor's report, report yan ni auditor, alright? And then yung financial statements, basically, nandyan sa page 128 yan. Ayan, yung meron tayong statements of financial position, comprehensive income, changes in equity, cash flows, and notes to financial statements. So alam na natin yan, yung FS. Now, ibig sabihin class, yung annual report, di ba, 300 plus pages yan. Nasa loob niyan, yung auditor's report, nandyan din yung financial statements. Gets? So, ang broadest, okay, or yung yung scope niya, yung coverage is the annual report. Under that, nandyan yung auditor's report and FS. Okay? Ngayong class, mag-focus tayo sa auditor's report, which is yan naman talaga yung topic natin for today. Again, balik ka sa page 122. Titignan natin class yung different sections of an auditor's report. Okay, number 1, the title. Okay, title natin dito class is, nakalagay dyan, Independent Auditor's Report. So, sulat ko sa board yung mga important things na kailangan mong malaman for each section. Kasi class, usually, ang tinatanong sa board exam, okay, sa ganitong section, alin yung makikita mo? Okay, for example, let's say, sa opinion section, which of the following cannot be found in an opinion section? Parang gano'n. So, dapat familiar tayo dun sa mga items na makikita natin for each section. Okay? Susulat ko sa board yan. Sa title class, nandyan is Independent Auditor's Report. Okay? Now, ang mahalaga lang dito class na word is independent. Okay? Again, yun yung unique characteristic natin auditors. We should be independent from the management. Yan yung distinguishing characteristics natin as opposed to other professions. Okay? So, yun yung title, Independent Auditor's Report. So, class, meron tayong ilang sections ba? 12 ba? Tanda mo, 12 sections. Second natin, class, is the addressee. Addressee. Nasaan yan? Nakita mo dyan, class, the stockholders and the board of directors. Yun. Yung addressee natin, stockholders, and BOD. Take note, hindi yung management, okay? Hindi si management, stockholders, and board of directors. Sa kanila naka-address yung auditor's report. And nakalagay dyan class, Ayala Land Inc., 31st floor, Tower 1, Ayala Triangle, Makati City, etc. dapat may address na kasama. Okay, so lagay ko dito, with address. Ayan. With address. Number 3. Third section natin, class, yung opinion paragraph. Okay. Yung opinion paragraph natin, class, yun, basahin natin. We have audited the accompanying consolidated financial statements of Ayala Land Inc. Okay, so nandyan, naka-mention dyan yung client, which is Ayala Land. What else? Pa nandyan? And its subsidiaries, which comprise the consolidated statements of financial position as of December 31, 2020, the conso statements of income, statements of comprehensive income, changes in equity, cash flows for the periods December 31, 2020, and notes to financial statements. So basically, nandiyan, class, yung FS, nandiyan yung periods, okay, yung December 31, 2020, and then, in our opinion, the accompanying conso FS present fairly in all material respects the conso statement of financial position of the group, okay, December 31, 2020, 2019, statement of financial performance, cash flows, in accordance with PFRS. May makikita din tayo dyan word na in accordance with PFRS. Okay, kasi class minsan, ganito yan. For example, may tanong sa board exam. Okay, under opinion paragraph. Alin yung hindi mo makikita? Nakalagay doon. Letter A, PSA. Number 2, PFRS. Number 3, set of financial statements. Number 4, periods. Obviously, dun sa opinion paragraph, walang minention dito na PSA. Tama? So, yung PSA yung sagot dito. Ganun siya. So, dapat familiar tayo dun sa laman ng auditor's report. Okay, so yun yung opinion natin. Right? So, ito yung makikita natin. After opinion paragraph, class, meron tayong tinatawag na basis for opinion. And take note, class, yung binigay ni SGB kay Ayala Land is an example of an unqualified opinion. Okay, nakalagay dyan. In our opinion, the accompanying FS present fairly. Ayun. Fairly presented. Gets? Okay, next. Basis for opinion. We conducted our audits in accordance with PSAs. Ayun, may mention na PSA. PSAs. Our responsibilities under the standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities. Okay? Audit of Conso FS. We are independent of the group. Okay, minention din yung independence. Alright? So, independence, again, very important yan. Minention independence. What else? In accordance with the Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants. May minention din na Code of Ethics. Code of Ethics. Nasulat ko lang, class, yung mga important items, no? Okay, together with the ethical requirements that are relevant to the audit of Conso FS in the Philippines, and we have fulfilled our ethical responsibilities in accordance with the requirements of the Code of Ethics, we believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for opinion. Lagyan na rin natin yan. So, sufficient and appropriate. Tama? Sufficient and appropriate evidence. Ayan. Sufficient and appropriate evidence. Ayan. Yan yung makikita natin, class, sa basis for opinion. Dapat alam natin yung pagkakasunod-sunod, ha? Chronological. Number 5 is key audit matters. Ayan. Key audit matters. So, class, basically, yung key audit matters, ito yung most significant aspects or areas in audit na na-encounter ng audit team all throughout the audit process, okay? Most significant aspects and areas encountered during the audit. Basahin natin, class. For Ayala Land, tingnan natin. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance, okay? In our audit of Conso financial statements of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the Conso FS as a whole and informing our opinion thereon, and we do not provide a separate opinion on the matters. For each matter below, our description of how our audit addressed the matter is provided in the context. We have fulfilled the responsibilities, blah, blah, blah. Okay, baba tayo, class. Next page, nakalagay dyan, real estate revenue recognition. Real estate revenue recognition. Ito yung examples, ha. Again, class, pag sabing key audit matters, ito yung, let's say, pinaka-challenging na nakita ni auditors. Okay? Yung significant na nakita niya during the audit. First one is real estate revenue recognition. Basahin natin. The group's recognition process, policies, and procedures are significant to our audit because these involve application of significant judgment and estimation, assessment of the probability of the entity will collect the consideration, application of output method. Actually, class, kasi si Ayala Land, we know, is a construction company, no? Property developer siya. Mag-recognize siya ng revenue using, well, LTCC siya. Tama? Long-term construction contract. So, output method yung ginagamit niya dito. And, kaya sinabi dyan, may significant judgments, estimates, kaya ang opinion ng audit team ng SGB, ito yung isa sa key audit matters. Alright, so dinescribe dyan, basically dinescribe. And kumbaga, sa second paragraph, let's see, in evaluating whether collectibility of the amount of consideration is probable, the group considers the significance of the buyer's initial payments in relation to total contract price. Collectibility is also assessed by considering factors such as past history, age of residential, etc. Now, in measuring the progress, next paragraph, of his performance obligation over time, the group uses the output method. Basically, yun yung, again, sa LTCC, no? This method measures progress based on physical proportion of the work done on the real estate. Okay, next paragraph, in determining the actual cost incurred to be recognized as cost of sales, the group cost incurred materials. And next paragraph, the group identifies sales commission, blah, blah, blah. So basically, class, minention muna na, okay, ito yung isang key audit matter. And then, after that, diniscuss, why is it significant? Okay? Why is this significant? Well, basically, because yung Ayala Land is a property developer, majority ng revenues niya from real estate revenue. Okay? And then, after that class, diniscuss din yung effect to FS, and then yung last one, after that, diniscuss yung auditor's response. Ayan. Ito yung pattern yan. So again, sa key audit matters, ini-enumerate yan. Okay? Bakit significant yan? What is the effect to FS? And ano yung ginawa ni auditor? Right? Next item. And may auditor's response. We obtain an understanding of the group's recognition process for the buyer's equity. We evaluated management basis, blah, blah, blah. So basahin mo na lang yan. But basically, ito yung pattern yan sa key audit matter. Basahin pa natin yung next. Next key audit matter is accounting for lease concessions. In line with the rental relief framework implemented by the government to support businesses and the broader economy due to the impact of COVID, the group waived its right to collect rent. Okay, so key audit matter siya because under Bayanihan Act, if naalala nyo class, sabi ni government, okay, wag nyo muna singilin yung mga tenants nyo, o kaya naman i-extend nyo yung grace period nyo, magbigay kayo ng grace period. Kaya naging significant siya in audit. Kaya isa siya sa key audit matters. Gets? Okay. So, tingnan muna kung bakit significant and merong auditor's response. Okay. So, we determine the population of lease contracts and obtain an understanding of the type, extent. Okay. Next paragraph, on sample basis, we test the population of lease agreements, blah, blah, blah. So, again, bakit significant? Ano yung effects sa FS and auditor's response. Next. Actually, tatlo yata ito. Or apat. Tingnan na rin natin. Impairment testing of PPE. Okay. So, impairment, in view of the continuing community quarantine and restricted travel, the group's hotels and resort segment continues to be adversely affected. Lower number of guests and reduction in room rates, both of which have significant impact the revenues. Okay, since hindi nagagamit, yung mga hotels, mga restaurants, okay, mga resort segment, and so on and so forth, baka kailangan i-impair, okay, subject to impairment testing. Yun, key audit matter din siya. Okay, audit response, we involve our internal specialist. Ayun, yun yung response si auditors. Merong expert, internal expert si auditor. Sinama nila yan for impairment testing in evaluating methodologies, assumptions used in estimating the recoverable amount. Okay, and then last one, last key audit matter is the consolidation process. The consolidated FS of the group represents the consolidated financial statements of Ayala Land. Kasi class, si Ayala Land, alam natin conglomerate yan, tama? Under Ayala Land, marami pang mga subsidiaries yan. So, yung consolidation, yung audit team sa SGB na believes that it's a key audit matter. Alright? Sige. Okay, next. Yung other information paragraph, babalikan natin later yan. Okay? Sasabihin ko sa inyo kung bakit. Skip mo muna yan. Next natin dyan class is management responsibilities. Number 6, management responsibilities. Or management's responsibilities. Basahin natin class. Management's responsibilities or responsibilities of management and those charged with governance for the Conso FS. Management is responsible for the preparation and presentation of the Conso FS, in accordance with PFRS and for such internal control. O class, alam nyo na yan. Inuulit-ulit natin sa audit yan. Saan ulit responsible si management? Sa FS. Okay? And internal controls. So, presentation or preparation and presentation of financial statements, si management bahala dyan. Internal controls, yung implementation yan, yung maintenance, si management din. Okay? So, yun yung management responsibility paragraph. Basahin pa natin. In preparing the CONSO FS, management is responsible for the assessing the group's ability to continue sa going concern. Yan pa. Disposing as applicable materials, blah, blah, blah. Basically, FS and internal controls. Number 7. Uy, malapit na. 12 paragraphs na tayo or 12 sections. Auditors' responsibilities. Okay, so let's read. Auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the FS, our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the CONSO FS as a whole are free from material misstatement and to issue an auditor's report that includes opinion. Okay, so dalawa yung responsibilities ng auditor. Number 1, to obtain reasonable assurance and issue an report with opinion. So issue an opinion. Okay, so alam na rin natin yan. Obtain reasonable assurance and issue an opinion. So ito yung responsibility ni management, ito yung responsibility ni auditor. Alright? Now class, actually sa auditor's responsibilities, kung babasahin natin yan sa second paragraph, as part of an audit in accordance with PSA, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. We also, first bullet, identify, assess, risk of material misstatement. Second bullet, obtain understanding of internal control, evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies, okay, appropriateness of management's use of going concern, overall presentation. Basically, class, pag binasa mo yan, yung auditor's responsibilities, mahaba yan, tama? Basically, makikita mo rin dyan yung general description of the audit. Okay, general description of the audit. Okay? Ayan. Again, makikita mo dyan yung responsibility ni auditor plus the general description of the audit. Right? Nandun dyan sa auditor's responsibilities. Number 8. Number 8 natin, class. Actually, wala dyan, no? Kasi depende sa industry. Pero ito required din yung other reporting responsibilities. Other reporting responsibilities. So, write it down. This is number 8. Basically, class, yung other reporting responsibilities, depende yan sa industry. For example, bangko, okay, banks. Si BSP, may mga nire-require na additional paragraph yan. Okay? Yun. Other reporting responsibility. Or for example, airline company. Si BSP or si CAAP, okay, yung Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, may nire-require yan na additional requirement. Okay? Additional paragraph sa auditor's report. So, si Ayala Land, walang ganun. So, again, depende sa industry yan. Okay? Pero sulat mo na rin. Number 8, other reporting responsibilities. Number 9. Okay, number 9 nating class is, makikita nyo dyan, name of the engagement partner. Name of the engagement partner. So, sino class yung engagement partner dito? Si Michael C. Sabado. Ayan, Michael C. Sabado. Well, sa audit firm, actually, hindi naman sa ibang companies, usually mga partners, tawag mo sila sa first letter ng name nila. So, si Michael C. Sabado, ang tawag sa kanya, MCS. Okay? So, yun din yung pangalan ng cluster. Okay? MCS cluster. Ganun siya. Alright, so tingnan mo yung names mo. Kung bagay yung name ng cluster yan. No? So, tingnan mo yung first letter ng names mo. Yun tawag sa'yo pag naging partner ka. Alright? And class, important yan, yung engagement partner. Bakit? Kasi siya yung overall responsible sa audit. Okay? Si MCS. And then, may signature siya dyan. Alright? And, ayan. So, signature, lagay natin. Number 10, audit, or the partner signature. Plus, take note na after yung signature, nakita mo yung CPA certificate number, alright? SEC accreditation number, and then tax identification number or TIN. Meron ka ring BIR accreditation number and PTR or professional tax receipt number. Kailangan mo i-secure lahat yan. Okay? So, kaya class, ibig sabihin, pag pumasa ka ng board exam, hindi pwedeng basta-basta makapagtayo ka ng audit firm. Okay? Hindi ka pwedeng mag-sign agad ng auditor's report. Hindi ganun. I-secure mo muna lahat yan. Okay? Yung iba dyan, kailangan ng years of experience. Okay? So, may mga permits ka dyan, may mga requirements yan. So again, kaya yung iba, before ka makapagtayo ng sarili audit firm, kuha mo na ng audit experience sa mga audit firms. Gets? Okay. So again, CPA certificate number, SEC accreditation number, TIN, BIR accreditation number, and PTR. So 5. Okay, so that's what you will see after nung signature ni partner. Number 10. Number 11. Okay, number 11 is auditor's address. Auditor's address. Actually, class, si SGV, instead na ilagay yung auditor's address dito sa baba, kung babalik ka sa page, okay, balik tayo sa page 122, nandun sa header. Doon yan nilagay, sa header. Pwede rin yun. Nakalagay, CSIP Gores Velayo and Company, 6760 Ayala Avenue, 1226 Makati City, Philippines. Okay lang yun, basta nandyan sa auditor's report. Okay? Kahit wala dito sa baba ng signature. So kay SGV, ginawa niya sa header. Alright, so balik tayo sa page 126. Alright, and then last one, kasi class 12 lang yan, tama? Last one natin, yes, 127, okay, is nakita mo yung Feb 23, 2021. Okay, Feb 23, 2021, that is the date of auditor's report. Which is, na-discuss natin last time. Naalala niyo yung discussion natin sa completing the audit? Di ba? Meron tayo dun na subsequent events, okay? From balance sheet date and date of auditor's report. So, mga nangyari in between, tawag natin dun is subsequent events. So, yun. Date of auditor's report. Date of auditor's report. Ano yung importance niyan? Ibig sabihin niyang class, yung responsibility ni auditor hanggang Feb 23, 2021 lang. Lahat na mangyaring events after that, hindi na responsibility ni auditor yan. Okay? Yun yung rule natin. And ibig sabihin din yung class, na-consider lahat ni auditor ng transactions. Okay? Up to Feb 23, 2021. So, very important yung date na yan. Again, responsibility basically ni partner hanggang Feb 23, 2021. Okay. So, ito yung sample auditor's report. Ang tawag natin dito, class, standard, okay? Standard auditor's report. Okay, meron siyang 12 sections or 12 paragraphs. Okay, so as you notice, class, again, si Ayala Land or si SGB, ang binigay niya kay Ayala Land is unqualified opinion. Yun yung pinakamagandang opinion, okay? So, ngayon, class, open nyo yung illustrative examples natin. This one, auditor's report, illustrative examples. Okay, open natin yan. And para pakita ko sa inyo, class, kung ano yung wordings kapag qualified, adverse, and disclaimer. Okay, so open nyo yan. 6 pages lang naman yung class. And ayan. Illustration number 1 is unqualified opinion. Basahin ulit natin. Yung opinion paragraph. We have audited the FS of ABC Company, which comprises statements of financial position, okay, comprehensive income, blah, blah, blah. In our opinion, the accompanying FS present fairly in all material respects. Yun. Present fairly, presented. Yan yung unqualified opinion. Now, tingin tayo class sa illustrative or illustration number 2. Napansin nyo may mga naka-highlight na yellow. Okay? Doon lang tayo mag-focus. Yung hinighlight ko na yellow na yung class, ang ibig sabihin yan, ito yung items na magbabago compared dun sa unqualified opinion. Okay? So, pag kinumpare mo, yung illustration 1 and illustration 2, ito yung changes niya. Gets? Okay. So, tingin tayo dun sa yellow, Dun mo tayo sa qualified opinion. In our opinion, except for the effects of the matter described in base of qualified opinion, the company FS present fairly. Yun. The financial statements are presented fairly except for, ito yung important dyan kapag qualified opinion. Now, basahin natin. The company's inventories are carried in the statement of financial position at XXX. Management has not stated the inventories at the lower of cost or NRV, but has stated them solely at cost, blah, blah, blah. So basically, class, kapag qualified opinion, so sabi dyan, lahat ng items in the FS are fairly presented except for the inventories. Alright? So sige. So ganyan siya. Next natin is, okay, sa key audit matters, meron ding konting changes. In addition to the matter described in the basis for qualified opinion section, we have determined the matters described below to be the key audit matters to be communicated in our report. Okay, so familiarize yourselves, class, kung ano yung mga changes, no? Yung unqualified versus yung three other opinions. Okay? Next, dun tayo sa adverse opinion. Now again, pag sabing adverse opinion, ito yung worst. The FS are not fairly presented. So let's read. In our opinion, because of the significance of the matter discussed in the basis for adverse opinion section of our report, the accompanying Conso FS do not present fairly. Yun yung phrase na ginagamit. Do not present fairly. And then if you read yung basis, as explained in Note X, the group has not consolidated subsidiary XYZ company that the group acquired during 20X1 because it has not been able to determine the fair value, blah, blah, blah. So basically, since hindi mo kinonsolidate, well, alam natin sa standards, required na i-consolidate si parent and subsidiary, ang binigay ni auditor na opinion is adverse opinion. FS are not fairly presented. Okay, and then, ayan, sa key audit matters, may konting difference din, except for the matter described in the basis for adverse opinion. Okay, yun. Last one, class, is yung disclaimer of opinion. So, yeah, let's read the opinion, paragraph. We do not express an opinion on the accompanying Conso FS of the group because of the significance of the matter described. We have not been able to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence. Okay? So, nakalagay, do not express an opinion. Kaya, class, sa disclaimer, no opinion, basically. Yun yung ibig sabihin yan. And bakit? Because hindi doon naka-obtain ng sufficient appropriate evidence. Ayun. Inability to obtain evidence. Ang tawag natin dyan, scope limitation. So, let's read yung basis. The group's investment in joint venture is carried at XXX on the group's Conso statement of financial position. We were not allowed access to the management and the auditors of XYZ companies. So, ano tawag doon? Client-imposed, okay, scope limitation. Okay? Company's auditors, audit documentation, as a result, we were unable to determine whether any adjustments were necessary, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then sa baba, class, nakalagay dyan, sa auditor's responsibilities. However, because of the matter described in the base for disclaimer of opinion, we were not able to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence to provide a basis for opinion on the FS. Okay, so class, again, hinighlight ko yan, naka-yellow, because sometimes nagtatanong sa board exam, okay, so pag disclaimer of opinion, anong paragraphs yung may mga changes? Okay, so as you notice here, sa auditor's responsibility may change. Okay? Sa management's responsibility, walang change. Okay, dapat familiar ka dun sa changes. Alright, so now class, open nyo naman yung PAL Annual Report. Okay, so PAL Annual Report, page, open natin. Okay, si PAL Annual Report, page 48. Okay, so page 48, open mo yung class. Tignan na natin. So, 48. Okay. Tignan natin yung opinion paragraph. Okay, we were engaged to audit the Conso FS of PAL Holdings and subsidiaries, which comprise the Conso Statement of Financial Position, Conso Comprehensive Income Balance Sheet, blah, blah, blah. Yung second paragraph, we do not express an opinion on the accompanying FS because the matters described in basis for opinion. We have not been able to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence. So, again, sa SGB, for the 2020 FS, ang binigay ni SGB is disclaimer of opinion. Siguro, first time to ma-receive ni PAL ng disclaimer of opinion. And expect mo, class, sa different industries, no, airline, yung mga hotels, lahat na affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, malamang, ang bibigay sa kanila ng auditors, disclaimer of opinion. Okay? Now, basahin natin, class, kung bakit disclaimer of opinion. So, basis for disclaimer of opinion. Use of going concern assumption. As disclosed in Note 2 of the Conso FS, Status of Operations Recovery Plan Material Uncertainty, the group reported Conso total comprehensive loss of 73 billion. So, ang laki ng loss na ni-report ni PAL for the year ended December 31, 2020, which increased the deficit to 88.97 billion, capital deficiency, ayan. In addition, the group's current liabilities exceed the current assets. And ayan, ito yung mga reasons kung bakit merong issue ongoing concern, okay? And kung bakit disclaimer of opinion binigay ni SGB. Okay, basahin pa natin, class. Dun sa bottom part of the first paragraph, the COVID-19 outbreak and the measures taken by PAL have caused disruptions to Philippine Airlines, passenger operations, resulting temporary suspension, and limited operations, okay? Consequently, the decline in revenue and cash inflows has put significant strain on the group's liquidity position, blah, blah, blah. And then yung next paragraph, due to the difficulty in sourcing additional financing, the group is embarking on financial restructuring plan, the group is considering to file a negotiated court rehab, etc. etc. So, dinescribe basically sa base for opinion, yung disclaimer of opinion ni PAL, ano yung reasons kung bakit disclaimer of opinion and ano yung status. Okay, dito daw ang status is, okay, nire-restructure ni PAL and then nasa court rehabilitation, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so gusto ko lang pakita sa inyo class na, well, currently because of the COVID-19 pandemic, maraming companies na malamang disclaimer of opinion yung bibigay sa kanila. Well, si Ayala Land, unqualified pa din, no? Kasi siguro hindi siya masyadong affected talaga ng pandemic. Alright, so anyway, so that's a different type of opinion. Okay, so before we answer our handouts, let's have a short break.